Well, we're back up. I guess I couldn't go through all the fourth quarter audio, video. That was problematic. So, I won't do it again. I went through my YouTube training course. I'm going to be a good boy now. I'm going to play nice. I guess that video will never be seen. A little bit disappointing because we were going through the fourth quarter, going through all the video, showing the plays, and eventually I guess it was taken down. I don't know how this works. I'm somewhat new to YouTube, but I don't need any strikes. So I just went through the training, and I think we're good now. We'll see if La Murray comes back on the airport. And here he is. La Murray back with us. La, I went through my training course. I got educated on how to use YouTube and not get in trouble. I think I'm good now. I'm in the clear.
You about to find out.
Thanks for hopping back in. Let me reset here. I know people are jumping back in themselves. Biggest reason the Clippers lost that game last night, you say late game execution once again?
Try it again, man. I'm on a moving train, so.
You said late game execution, Law?
Yeah, late game execution, but also just game management in general. You know what I mean? Like the Clippers, like I said, they only lost one out of the four quarters, but the quarter they lost, the second quarter, they surrendered a 15-0 run with most of the bench in, and then with most of the starters in, 14-3 run. So you had control. I thought the game plan to begin that game was great. I thought for the most part they carried that out defensively, but they just couldn't. They could not overcome the physicality when it mattered most. You know, the second quarter they got blitzed multiple times, but that fourth quarter was just they had a lead, and the way Kawhi was going, I felt like Kawhi was going to take him home. You know. And again, Kawhi put them up right before that Caruso corner three. And then, again, the Clippers got 5 possessions. They only got 2 points out of them, including the last possession where Kawhi split free throws down 3, trying to get that last sip in. Even that took too long. They got to the line at 0.6. So I just felt like it was a regrettable game for the Clippers. Obviously, the Dort injury, Dort injuring James Harden. I thought that was obviously a critical moment. That's part of the game management there. But at the same time, we know who James is. You know, James is literally going to play unless he can't walk. He could, but you walk to the plane, we're going to see what ramifications that has for this road trip.
So James Harden is with the Clippers in New York. He will be with them on the trip.
He'll be with them on the trip. What his status is TBD. I've seen Norman Powell get on planes and not play for an entire trip. So, you know, we're not going to get an update on that probably for another 24 hours at least. Well, we'll definitely get an update in 24 hours. I'll tell you that much.
Clippers taking on the Knicks in New York on Wednesday. La Murray from The Athletic is our guest here as we had a little reset Clippers talk since I was going through some of the tape from the fourth quarter, and YouTube didn't like that, but they can't stop La Murray from coming on. Nobody can stop this right now, even Law on a train. La, do they have a fundamentally flawed offense late in games because they are so ISO heavy, or was last night an outlier?
I don't want to hear that BS. Like, y'all just saw how they closed out the Grizzlies Friday night, how they closed out the Cavaliers. I was in the building 2 weeks ago when they were down 7 against the Sacramento Kings, and they needed to force overtime. And then we all saw what happened when Kawhi, you know, hit the buzzer beater. Like, y'all can be selective about late game offense if you want to. You know, it's a matchup issue. We've seen the Thunder and Clippers play for 3 seasons now, and the Thunder have won 9 of those 11 meetings. Like, and it makes sense when you look at them. Yes, the Clippers are an ISO heavy team. You know who else is an ISO heavy team? The Oklahoma City Thunder. Okay, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander took 29 shots last night. Okay, it was the worst. I don't care. You don't even need to put a qualifier on it. Minimum 10 field goals. It was his worst shooting game of the year. It might have been his worst in multiple years. I haven't bothered to check because I'm not interested right now in that. I'm more interested in, this whole figuring out how to get my Metro card, So, but people love to crap on the offense. Just, it was the number one defense in the league, and they had. Did you see the lineup they started out on? Kaysen Wallace, Alex Caruso, Lugensdorf. Okay, they started their pit bulls. They didn't leave those dudes on the bench. No, they started their pit bulls. They started a rim protector in Isaiah. If Shea, quote unquote, hide guy, he's the best hide guy in the league. God damn it, he's 6'6" and gets steal and blocks, and he's stronger than he looks. If that's your hide guy, it makes sense why you're the number one defense in the league. Everything was hard. Kawhi had a palming violation in the second quarter because Norman Powell couldn't. You realize how that is? You want to run some all offense? They got something for that, you know.
I still see a law. Did Coach Lou make any mistakes with timeouts late where by the minute 30 mark of the fourth quarter, they were already out of them? I think we lost Law Murray, guys. That's all right. We appreciate the law jumping in for a little bit here. We tried. We did what we could. Law was subway surfing. No count, did not get suspended. It just had that video taken down, to my knowledge. That's all that's going on at this point. Obviously, you guys are here, and I could just start a new video. So I'll try to play nice now, and I'll use the stuff that I normally use. Although if Law's trying to get back in here, I can try to go back to him. Let's see here.
Do you see me? I might be in your
Law,
pocket.
can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
No,
me?
you sound good. I got you. You sound good.
Yeah, you might be in my pocket right now. I'm literally at the ATM, and I'm in a bad place to be trying to do service. But
what did you make of Coach Lewis?
I don't know where I.
What did you make of Coach Lou and his timeout usage late in the ball game where they didn't have one at the last minute and a half?
Yeah, it was regrettable. And he used one with 137 left. I remember I was looking. I was like, "You must you're going to left to lead your team." And that play resulted in James Harden turning the ball over on fast. And, I mean, it was regrettable. There's nothing else to say about it. That's part of the game management issues that I was earlier, alluding to hard, by the way. So,
yeah, let's go. All right. So, no timeouts late there. Lock, you still hear me?
is the
All
question.
right, we got you. When you talk about the second quarter issues, Law, what has been going on with lineups in the second quarter that for whatever reason aren't working out while being led by Kawhi Leonard? Law's cutting in and out, guys. Let's see. He's not on a BlackBerry, all right? He's just in New York. Underground. Subway hopping.
Yeah. I'm trying to get on this railroad. My bad.
No, I hear you now. You sound good. What about second quarters, Law?
Yeah, I just feel like there are just a lot of different things going on. You know, who do you feature? And I think it's even messier now that Norm is trying to get back to. Do you feature Kawhi? Do you feature Norm? Do you play the Ben Simmons, get him the ball and clear out? Do you feature Bogey? I think sometimes it's good, and I just saw that it was challenging. Then I think that was his first multi-turnover game with the Clippers, and it's just he had a real hard time handling the basketball. He had a really good time scoring it, you know, that his forays of trying to score, that was quite fun, but I just feel like there's a lot of mouths to feed, and that can lead to a lot of variance. And when you go up against a good defense or the best defense in the league, it's gonna lead to some issues.
I know you talked with Kawhi post game and James Harden. Kawhi seems to indicate that, hey, if the numbers say it, they are the best defense in the league. And to me, that's kind of what they do best and what scares me most out of anything with OKC that they got going on, including having the MVP. It's the defense that scares me most, Law.
Well, it should. Like, I don't care about OKC's offense. If you're the Clippers, you're not concerned about any team's offense. Okay, they saw the best offense in basketball Tuesday night, and you know what? They failed, and then they succeeded. You know, it was the other way around against OKC's defense. They succeeded in that first quarter, and then they failed mightily, and they were never good enough to overcome that. So, Oklahoma City, and the reason why I think they should be considered the favorites to win the title. You know, I just feel like they're the best team in basketball because they are able to get stops. Period. They have so many guys for so many situations. They take the ball from you. They don't let you get comfortable shooting it. They're not just number one in opponent field goal percentage. They're number one in 3-point percentage allowed as well. And I know a lot of people will be like, well, you're just getting good shooters luck. And I hate that. As someone who still plays basketball a lot, as someone who knows when I'm missing shots because I'm just missing shots, or I'm missing shots because of some other factors, contests, physicality. OKC does all of that to you. You know, they want you to take jump shots, but they're going to hit you. And I mean, look at all the Clipper shooters. Look at James. Look at Norm. Look at Bogey. Those are guys who are asked to create some shots as well as shoot. But all those dudes were terrible shooting the basketball. All of them. So that's what should scare anybody playing OKC. If they're allowed to be physical, and I compare them to the Legion of Boom, anybody who watched the Seattle Seahawks from a decade ago, they are the Legion of Boom, okay? And the big thing with the Legion of Boom is like, are y'all going to let us play? If you don't call it all the time, then we going to win. You know, like the strength of that secondary, that's one of my favorite teams ever, by the way. I love the Super Bowl that they beat the Broncos. I was literally packing for the Winter Olympics, and I said that the Seahawks would win the Super Bowl before that season started, and that's exactly what happened.
I love Cam Chancellor.
Yeah, like that whole secondary.
Well, I just got bounced out. We'll see if he rejoins here. But, guys, that defense from OKC, that's what scares me most about this team. It's not SGA. It's not Chet. It's not J-Dub. It's not Hartenstein. They're good offensively. they could be historic on the defensive end. Law, you still there? I don't know if Law can hear or not, but the Thunder confirmed a lot of what I thought about their defense, especially at point of attack last night. You go 3 of 15 with James Harden, Norm, and Bogey from 3. 3 of 15 from those 3 guys. Yeah, you're probably losing the ball game. They still had chances. They still had opportunities. I think it's fair game to criticize Coach Lue using that timeout for that inbounds play, his last time out. I also think it's fair to criticize the players and the guys out there turning the basketball over and guys having an off shooting game. But the reason it's off, a lot of that is due to Oklahoma City and just how good they are. Phenomenal. They are built to win in this era with how many defenders they can throw at you. Well, I'm waxing poetic about OKC and how good they were defensively last night. But did you make anything of Zoo only having 9 shots, or does that also credit to OKC?
Well, Zoo got off to a great start, so the emphasis was definitely to get Zoo the ball. But I just felt like the Clippers' ball handlers just really couldn't play. They couldn't get into this stuff. You know, you're getting pressed. You're starting your offense late in the clock. Isaiah's there, so it's not like it was a slouch, you know, guarding Zoo. You know, shout out to Isaiah. But, and honestly, they tried to get him the ball late too. Like, it just didn't work out. Like, they call of whatever that timeout was. James was trying to hit Zoo, didn't work. I think I saw you try and, you know, clip a play where James tries to hit him on the roll. What wound up happening? Steal, turnover, steal going the other way. Zoo had a breakaway and didn't work. Like, I don't know what happened. He didn't finish at the rim. He was off balance. Shea dislodges the ball from him. Clearly was a foul. No call, and everyone's confused. That's not a shot attempt. Hold on just a second.
And today, guys, the 2-minute report did confirm that was a foul on SGA. We did get that confirmed. As Law works through his traveling coordination here, or is nice enough to have him. But, yeah, that was an obvious foul with the Clippers down by 1. Zoo should have been going to the line. That's a bad call. I still think the Clippers overall got some good calls in that ball game. There were some ticky-tack calls against Isaiah Hartenstein early on in the first half. OKC, they didn't get a free throw until the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. So I'm not going to say the Clippers got screwed in that game with the officials. I didn't feel that way at all. But that one call, yeah, that was a bad one in a pretty big moment. I got to agree with that. Isaiah Hartenstein, to Mike's point here, he made some great passes in the fourth quarter. That one to Alex Caruso, Law, that he hit him with a little reverse layup in the short roll. Isaiah Hartenstein's like that.
Yeah, y'all got to bear with me. I haven't been to New York in a minute, so literally trying to make sure I can not get arrested and pay for my fare because I fucked that up.
Man, first it was me with YouTube, and now you're running into NYPD.
I mean, it ain't NYPD yet, but the guy was very helpful. He let me know, hey, there's an app for that. So
good. Are you in the
trying
clear?
to figure that out right now.
Okay.
No, I mean, I can hear you and we can talk, but yeah, working on that.
All right, do
now.
your thing. Guys, I do want to talk a little bit about as we wait for Law to get his.
He said he's gonna come back though.
I do want to talk about.
So I'm just trying to multitask.
Something we've been discussing this season, which is James Harden in fourth quarters and the assist to turnover ratio, which has not been kind to James Harden and the Clippers. And he had 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter last night. And now he has 86 assists to 55 turnovers in the fourth quarter of ball games. So it ain't close to 2-1. It was closer to 1-1 for a while. It's been better, but last night, once again, James Harden struggling with turnovers at inopportune times. And they really can't happen. But you try the same passes against OKC, you try against Memphis or anybody else, or against Charlotte recently, it's different. The windows are smaller. You have to account for that. So, look, the one off of his knee, I don't mind him being aggressive there and trying to catch him sleeping at the rim. That's a mistake, but I'll live with it. The pass to Ivica Zubac has got to be more precise. The pass on the inbounds pass to Ivica Zubac, where he still had DJ wide open behind him. I don't understand that play, Law. The inbound turnover by James Harden.
Yeah, I thought it was bad. Like I said, it was bad for so many reasons. Like that was a timeout that you had to be really confident to call it then to leave you with none for the rest of the game, and it was a wasted possession. So yeah, we've seen it before. It's just there was just too many mental mistakes down the stretch by players not named Kawhi, basically.
Yeah. And having said that, they still got a good look with Norman Powell on that three-pointer. But I don't know how aware Kawhi was how hurt James Harden was. Because they were playing hot potato with the basketball for a second after they get the offensive rebound after Norm misses that three-pointer from straight away. James gives it up to Kawhi. Kawhi back to James. James back to Kawhi Leonard. And now there's 8 seconds left on the shot clock, and he's got to hoist long 2 against a double team on the right wing. And it's like, that's not the shot you're looking for in that possession. But they had just gotten a good look from Norman Powell, who uncharacteristically was missing everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like they got something good. I feel like I had a great seat for that. I had a terrible spot for James getting hurt, but I saw when Norm shot that ball, it was going to be off. He rushed his shot. It's just that simple. He was coming in motion. Like he didn't set his feet. I'm not sure if he even caught it clean. And the release, it's like when you kick in a field goal, and that thing, it's off right when he kicks it. Like so. Like I said, we can go through this. This was one of their worst games as far as late game execution. We've seen it before against the Thunder. We've seen it. Hold on, go and try and pay my shit right now. Is this it?
I'll say this for the Clippers, guys. As much as they actually improved against the Thunder in the turnover department overall in this ballgame, where they ended up with 14, they still had them at inopportune times, costly turnovers at the wrong time. And that's what's frustrating. Because we heard from Coach Lulaw pregame talk about how they had 66 turnovers against OKC in their first 3 games. Well, they cut down on them, but the problem was the turnovers in the end still bit them in the ass because they happened at the wrong time.
Yeah, turnovers. Like people were talking about the rebounds. The Clippers got plenty of offensive rebounds too, right? The difference is the Thunder scored on their offensive rebounds, and the Clippers missed 8 out of 11 shots on their second chance opportunities. You know, those are really going to be. That's kind of what determines games. You know, this game was not determined by making or missing shots overall to me. OKC got more opportunities to make or miss shots than the Clippers did. You know, both teams got offensive rebounds. OKC capitalized on their opportunities. But the Clippers had a very good game, relatively speaking, against the Thunder, taking care of the ball. But the Thunder do what they always do. They took care of that ball. The Thunder sixth in that game, led by Shea, but they attempted so many more shots than the Clippers did. If you go and look at the field goal attempt differential, for that game to be a 2-point decision, and it's because, you know, they got more shots. That's what the tough pill is. So if they're going to go up against OKC in a playoff series, they're going to know how to take care of the basketball. If that was hard at Intuit Dome, I've been to Oklahoma City for a couple of games this season, not just against the Clippers, but I saw when Chet got hurt that night in November. Like, it's hard. It's hard to take care of the ball against them because they're physical, they're long. They don't have guys that you can just kind of be like, oh, we can attack him. The only guy like that in their entire rotation is Isaiah Joe. And Isaiah Joe's got length that guys have to account for. Again, if you're not going to be physical, if you're not going to be like up in the guys, you need to be able to at least make some plays when there are opportunities to do something. That whole roster does that, including their centers. Like, Isaiah is always reaching. That dude will pick up some fouls, but he's always going to have active hands and, you know, give his team a chance to force some turnovers. So that's the Clippers' biggest problem offensively all season. That's the Thunder's biggest strength, besides the fact that they have the personnel to make all of your shots unguardable if they don't force the turnover.
La, who do you think starts if James Harden is out or out for an extended period of time?
And that is a question I asked myself last night, and I really couldn't answer it. But I kind of feel like my answer would be Bogdan. Start Bogey, have him and Norm play together, have Chris done, because Chris is already starting. So I don't think you can have too many non-shooters out there. So just have someone who can, you know, be another source of offense. Bogey's about similar height and size to James. James is obviously a lot stronger. James is one of the strongest people in basketball, but that would be my guess. My guess would be that, you know, you're already starting a point guard, if you will, and Chris Dunn. I don't call him a point guard when James is on the floor with him. He's more of a small forward because he's asked to defend, right? Norm is more of your shooting guard. So you just start Bogey, split the ball handling duties, and play. I thought last year the Clippers played one of their very best games all year, regardless of who was playing, when they were in Chicago and James couldn't play and Bones Highland started with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Terrence Mann, and Ivica Zubac. Offensive execution was sublime. So that's the peak. That's the ideal. The failure is, you know, when they went to New Orleans and the Pelicans were like, oh, Bones Highland is starting, and they just kind of took them apart. That was the beginning of the end for Bones in the rotation last year. They can do it, man. It's just, I keep saying it. They're going to have to play differently, and that will affect a player like Zoo a little bit. But that's the other reason why I say I think you go with Bogey rather than Ben. You go with Ben to say, hey, here's a point guard and a ball, but I think Ben's better suited to be in that second unit because you don't need Ben to just handle the ball. You need Ben to defend, and you need Ben to spell Zoo, you know? And so I wouldn't start those guys together. That's just a nightmare shooting combination in 2025. So Bogey makes more sense. He's got great chemistry with Zoo. That's what I would expect.
You think Chris Dunn at this point is pretty solidified as starting? Like, we're going away from the whole, hey, depending on matchup, it could be DJ, it could be Chris Dunn. It's just Chris Dunn at this point?
I want to say, if on a scale of 1 through 5, 5 being absolutely and 1 being absolutely not, I want to say that's a 4. I leave room for the playoffs and matchups, and I don't think anybody is set. Like Chris has done both, started come off the bench. Derrick Jones Jr. has done both, started come off the bench. I think Chris just makes a lot of sense with everybody healthy. We thought Nico was going to be starting more games, but then they went back to, when they got healthy, they were like, Nico is back in second unit. Nico didn't play at all last night after the first quarter.
What do you think about that
Matchup? Like Nico and physicality is just going to be hard. Like Nico's a rough matchup for OKC, and I saw a similar arrangement when they had the miniseries in Houston where T. went away from him early just because he just didn't feel like it worked. I mean, I think I would have wanted to see him more, but part of me just feels like they just decided to save Nico for a rainy day. So, I expect Nico to play a lot more on this road trip.
Do you think there's anything that different? Because a lot of the narrative coming out of this game is, oh, they were better with B. Shaw as the head coach. Do you think they're that much different, B. Shaw and Coach Lue, with how they go about scheming?
I think B. Shaw is, and again, this is only coming from people who don't like Tyronn Lue. So, like let's just be real. I think Brian did a great job, but coaching is the whole staff. You know what I mean? Like, and it's about just having like T. Lue. People will be like, yeah, they should fire T. Lue, as if T. Lue didn't put that staff together, as if those guys are not there because T. Lue is there. Again, I think fans remove relationships from a lot of what happens. They move interpersonal communication and interactions from what they see. I think people just think people are robots, which is really ironic, considering how some people talk about the players. But I thought Brian did a great job. And I did not think that T. Lue had a great night with a lot of things. I think he, took a lot of blame for a lot of things last night. So, we can acknowledge that. But like, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure if Brian coaching would have resulted in a win or loss. You could say a lot of things could have split. So, I mean, Vinny Del Negro could have been coaching last night. Yeah, they might have won. So I'm not really getting into too much of coach blame here. I think the coach did not have the best night, but that's not to say, hey, Brian won some games. I mean, did the defense perform great because Jeff Van Gundy wasn't there? You haven't heard that.
Yep.
Give Brendan O'Connor and Dante Jones some credit, but you're not saying that you don't need Jeff Van Gundy. You know what I mean? Jeff Van Gundy helped put that scheme together. So, so I'm not really entertaining that too much.
Is Kawhi about in the place you expected him to be in at this point, almost at 30 games?
What did we say for months?
You had the checklist.
We had the checklist. Run them off. December, come back to practice. January, come back to the game. February, increase the minutes and show some consistency and durability, gradually. He even got hurt in February, recovered from that. Great sign. March, play at an all-NBA level. He's done that. He's got more 20-point games this month with 4 more to go, which he will not play all 4, but still. Then January and February combined. He didn't have a single 10-rebound game in January or February, if I recall correctly. And he's got 3 of them. And in all 3 of them, he added 20 points. So he's had 20-10 games, just like some of the power forwards y'all want. You'd be like, John Collins can get 20 and 10. And well, there you go. Starting power forward Kawhi Leonard, 20 and 10, multiple times in March. So the last part of the checklist was what, Adam?
Get him to the playoffs healthy.
Get him there and get through it and finish it. I don't need to see Kawhi in game 1. I do need to see Kawhi in game 1 and game 2. But it's more than game 1 and game 2. It's got to be, game 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want to hear Kawhi Leonard talk at the season-ending playoff loss or the parade. That's it. That's the goal. That's what they want. Kawhi said himself, he ain't worrying about stats, numbers, rankings, none of that BS. Like, he wants to have a good summer. And to have a good summer, you need to get through the spring. So I think the checklist is 4 for 5, and we'll see. We'll see if what the next step is after that.
Lastly, Law, are you expecting them to be in the play-in at this point, or they just still have a realistic shot to get out?
I mean, both. If you're going to ask it like that, Adam, both.
All right. How realistic? What percentage chance would you give them of being the 6th seed?
Okay, so on Sunday nights, I do my standings updates because that's a good place to stop, and our regular season ends on a Sunday as well. And I basically said that the Clippers need to win like
You said like
9.
11-3 or something the last 14 games.
Yeah, that was a week ago. Well, they lost a game. So I'm down to like, how many games we got left? 11. I don't think they can win. I don't think they can get to a top 6 seed if they lose more than 2 games. And so take that for what you will. I just don't think they can. They don't have a margin of error. Golden State's schedule is so much easier and softer than the Clippers schedule. So that tiebreaker is nice, and you see them on the regular season finale. But, like, the Golden State Warriors have an easier path to maintaining that spot right now. Case in point, the Warriors are chilling today. They chilled out yesterday as Miami finally won a game. And, maybe Steph Curry comes back, maybe he doesn't. But the Warriors have 2 days after the Miami game, So while Steph Curry is dealing with what he's dealing with, he's not playing. And if he does play, like, they're playing against Miami, a team that can't do anything in fourth quarters. Again, hey, you know who's not an ISO team, Adam? The Miami Heat. And you know what happens in their fourth quarters? They look like dog crap. Night in and night out, no matter who's playing for them and no matter who they're playing against. Y'all want to talk about, it's ISO ball. Like, y'all just say that as code for they don't look like the San Antonio Spurs from 2014. So, anyway, that's the Heat. The Warriors. And then you got Minnesota. Again, they lost 2 close games in Minnesota that they deeply, deeply should be regretting. That tiebreaker matters. Minnesota, they're not playing as well as Golden State. They're way shakier. No one should ever trust the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's like trusting a rabid dog. But at the same time, that tiebreaker is heavy. So the Clippers don't have that. The Clippers are in New York. They have another 5 and 7 at the tail end of this road trip. And then, you got to survive all that and probably play Golden State for a spot. Like, it might be a top 6 spot. It might be who gets to be at home for a 7-8 game. That season finale matters. So, and by the way, they'll play the Sacramento Kings the night before or the game before the season finale at Golden State. The Clippers just have way more critical games, and now you got to hold your breath that James is good. So I don't love the Clippers' chances, but the chance exists.
Is their best shot ending up in the 2-7 against Houston? I'm not saying it's great, but is it their best shot?
They do not want to. They do not want to face Houston. They need to
They'd
pray.
rather face Denver or the Lakers?
Yeah. No, you'd rather face them.
Really?
I'm trying to tell you. It's about defense, man. Like you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, let's get Houston," because you ain't never seen that team in the playoffs before. But let me tell you something. For a team that hasn't been in the playoffs, they'd love to see a team like the Clippers that they've beaten repeatedly with no real problems this year. They are physical. They're the type of team that brings out the worst in the Clippers. Ime
They haven't seen
Udoka,
Kawhi though yet either.
they haven't seen Kawhi, but like neither did OKC before last night, and you saw what happened. Kawhi's not the guy who drives this offense, despite how he's playing. James is. And if you see that James has the ball and you're just going to rough him up and make him work, and that makes everybody else get, it's Norm's not getting shots on time, Zoo's getting a decreased field goal attempt. Yeah, Kawhi can look like he did last night. Is it going to mean anything? They were at home with a full roster and their head coach against a team missing their second and third best player, and it was a coin flip game. So Houston is the team most like the Thunder in the Western Conference when it comes to possession battle, forcing turnovers, being physical, all that jazz.
But they're not nearly as good on offense.
They're not nearly as good on offense. But I'm not worried about offense. I'm worried about the defenses. So when it comes to the Western Conference, there's three defenses that are elite: OKC, Houston, and the Clippers. The Clippers, shout out to them for having one of those defenses. They have the worst of the offenses among those three teams, even worse than Houston, because Houston doesn't turn the ball over like the Clippers do. So I think the Clippers have a higher ceiling offensively than Houston does. Yeah, I mean, compared to OKC, you'd love to face Houston, but I think the field is better off. Like, I don't think you really want to face the Lakers. The Nuggets have Jokic and thin air. I mean, look.
Who's better matchup for the Clippers between those two teams, Lakers or Nuggets?
I would say the Nuggets, because the Nuggets aren't deep. The Nuggets have a bunch of bad shooters. The Nuggets have – the thing with Nikola is that Zoo will go to Nikola Jokic and get work done. And if I recall correctly, Kawhi hasn't played against those dudes either. So that's another one. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of teams, man. There's a lot of teams. I think the Clippers, they just got to worry about themselves. Like, there's better matchups. I think the matchup that I think the Grizzlies, honestly, and I'm not saying there's no definite win. The Clippers are where they are in the standings for a reason. But
I was praying for Memphis.
Yeah, and the issue with Memphis is they're not playing well enough. So Memphis is trying to hope that they don't get in the conversation with the Warriors and Timberwolves as far as teams that the Clippers are trying to drag down. That's always, again, people get excited about the Memphis Grizzlies. I get excited about the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis does not have a sustainable infrastructure as far as getting through seasons and getting to the spring playing their best ball. We've seen it when they've been good, and if they're not good, forget about it. That's the Memphis Grizzlies. It's no disrespect. It's just a track record that's been established. If they do anything in the playoffs, it'll be an upset.
So let's review. Clippers need to go at least 9-2 to have a chance for the 6th spot. And if James Harden is out, La Murray's got Bogey starting in his place.
Yep, pretty much. Do I make any of those decisions? Am I playing any of the games? Nope, but I'll be in New York, so we'll see.
All right. Well, La, appreciate you doing this, fighting through adversity like you're the Clippers out there, going through the turnstiles. Be safe, and
everything got
hope
paid.
to talk to you on Clippers Countdown.
All right.
He is La Murray of The Athletic. Follow him now on Blueski at La Murray, TheNU.bsky.social. You got to subscribe to The Athletic because, I mean, did you hear that? Did you hear Law there? He did that while walking, while getting his Metro card. Like, the man is talented. He can multitask with the best of them. Truly impressive performance from La Murray on the go in New York as he just arrived, got to JFK, is going through the subway jumps on with me for 40 minutes. Oh, by the way, this was the second YouTube live we had going. The other one I was reviewing tape and going through the entire fourth quarter, and YouTube didn't like that, so it was taken down. This time I played nice. I played by their rules. But I think I can get away with this. I'm pretty sure I'm good with reviewing some post-game audio from last night. I'm fairly certain I will not get dinged. I will not get crushed and hated on by YouTube if I just review just a little bit of the post-game audio from last night. That's all I want to do here. Now the question is, can I actually get to the right audio? Hoop Jab, Hoop Chef, who's got it for me? Who's got the latest video? I need it here. Here we go. Let's start with Coach Lou, guys.
And then Ty, what were your thoughts down the stretch there of kind of where the game might have gotten away? A couple turnovers. Allowed them to get out in transition, got a couple buckets. And then, like I said, James was getting hurt. He couldn't really move. We probably should have saved him from himself and got him out. He was pretty stagnant once he came back in, but he wanted to try to gut through.
We probably should have kept him out, but they didn't. I think James at 60% might be your best option still in that situation against OKC, so I get it. James wanted to stay in. We'll hear from him in a little bit here, but it's not an easy decision. When you look at the secondary options for being the primary ball handler, if James is out of the ball game late. Also, it looked like at times, I mean, he was still able to draw a foul on a three-pointer on Lou Dort, so they're playing him that close. So even as a decoy, in that case he wasn't, but even if he's just out there, he has gravity. No, they're not finishing in the top four. That's over, Wayne.
And then, not have no timeout down stretch when you win a challenge but still lose. That kind of hurt us as well. And so
that was on, I think, the Case and Wallace drive where the foul was called on Zubats as he ran into him. They challenged it. There wasn't a foul on Zoo, but there was a foul on James Harden. So they won the challenge, but Wallace still ended up at the free throw line.
Being able to come down the stretch, like you said, a 1-point game, had a couple shots at it, and we just wasn't able to capitalize. What did you see out of tonight's game that kind of was a positive for you to take away from?
I'm fine with criticism on Coach Lou for using that timeout on the inbounds play, your last timeout. I think it's fair to say that's a mistake. Now, if they had scored on that play and they're up by 1 and they go on to win the game, because at that point, that's the biggest possession of the ball game. The next possession is the biggest possession. So I understand it to some degree too. But yes, if you guys want to criticize Coach Lou for that one, be my guest. They ran out of timeouts. They could have used one to advance the ball into the front court at the end with 3 seconds left. Either way, OKC was still going to foul. And put them at the line. That was Alex Caruso making a great play there. Man, he made some great plays in the fourth quarter. It wasn't just the 3-point shot that Plinko chipped in from Alex Caruso in the far side corner, and Dort made a nice pass there. Caruso had a tough layup on Kawhi Leonard in the fourth. He had a tough reverse off a great feed in the short roll from Isaiah Hartenstein. Caruso was a killer. He also missed a free throw, though.
On this one. Just defensively, I thought we did some good things. I thought we made Shea play on a lot of the rest all night.
So if you're going to criticize Coach Lou for everything, like the Pull-Up podcast did earlier today, I jumped in there to no avail. They're hating too hard on Coach Lou and James Harden. I still love the show. Still love BJ Matthews, but we did argue a little bit. If you're going to criticize Coach Lou for everything, you also better give him credit for the defensive game plan with JVG out He's attending to personal family matters right now. You better give Coach Lue credit for the game plan defensively against the OKC Thunder and SGA. Right? It's only fair. If you're blaming him for everything, he's responsible for everything. Well, is he responsible for the game plan that had SGA going 7 of 29?
Yesterday, I thought we did some good things. I thought we made Shea play on a lot of the rest all night, not let him play free and comfortable. I thought we did a good job with that. And, loss is a loss, So, but, like I said, I thought our guys, did a good job competing on the defensive end. I thought offensively we could have did things a little better.
So are you able to expand a little bit on James? I know you said that he took the knee to the thigh.
Yeah, I don't know. He's in the training room right now. I didn't get a chance to. I know he got hit in the hip, and then when he fell, he sprained his ankle a little bit. So that was the reason why he couldn't really attack at the end of the game. And so we had to, try to keep force feeding Kawhi, and so hopefully he's okay.
Here's the thing, though. James, did that happen in the third quarter? The hip injury that ended up being the sprained foot? Because he still made that play where he attacked when he first came back into the ball game in the fourth, but turned it over, and the ball went out off of his knee. Like, it looked like he could move a little bit there. I think he had enough where I understand why you're still playing him.
Okay, but we'll see. Keep force feeding Kawhi, and so hopefully he's okay, but we'll see.
You mentioned force feeding Kawhi a little bit down the stretch. Do you feel like there were maybe more opportunities that he was maybe missed a couple of times there down the stretch? Because I know they were, obviously loading up on him, but he had it going a little bit.
Can you say it again, please?
Yeah, just you mentioned having to force feed Kawhi a little bit down the stretch. I know they were loading up a little bit. But do you feel like there were maybe some more opportunities to find him in those last few possessions?
I got to be honest, and Joey Lynn's one of the best out there. When I went through the tape last night in the fourth quarter, and then what we did earlier on a show that nobody will ever know about, who didn't see it live because it was taken down from by YouTube. I understand. I'll play within the rules. Kawhi touched the basketball almost every single possession in the fourth quarter. I don't think there was a real issue there of him not getting the ball.
I mean, we got it to him, every time. And like I said, the last one they kind of fired on him to make him go away. He didn't want to go. And but
on the turnaround fadeaway long two.
Other than that, I thought he got to his spots. We gave him space, and he had it going a little bit, and just like I said, couldn't make a shot down the stretch.
Sorry, just to clarify on James for a second, you said hip. Was it hip or thigh?
Thigh, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, he got hit in the thigh, and then I think when he was falling, he kind of sprained his ankle. So that was tough.
I got tough loss over there at the end, but like 3-1 on this homestand overall, this progress is continuing to be made over the last couple of weeks despite the loss. Like, what can you say just about the strides that you guys have made and want to continue to make as you go on the road here, this 4-game trip?
Just keep building. I think continue to keep getting better offensively, knowing that we have weapons that we can use, and it's not going to be the same every single night, and so.
There is a good learning experience. You don't want to hear that with just 11 games left in a game where if you won, you'd be the 6th seed. You don't want to hear that. But there is something to learn from a loss like that last night. You went up against the very best defense. Okay. How do you get better the next time you see a defense that good or see OKC maybe in a 1-8 matchup or you face Houston? How can they execute better offensively? Those windows are tighter. The passes have to be crisper, more precise. They tried a lot of long outlet passes that were turnovers, especially early in the game. Typically, those work, not against a team like OKC. So how do you adjust? Where do you go to next time? I expect the Clippers to make a lot of corrections based upon that game last night. There are things to be learned.
So just understanding that, we got guys that we can play through, but you can't get frustrated when it's not your night offensively because of the weapons we do have. And we'll get better with that. Just keeping the flow of the game, making sure everybody's involved.
That's fine.
Ty, tonight, it was a tough loss. Just defensive-wise, how would you say defense was against OKC tonight?
I thought defense was pretty good.
They held them to 103. The worst offense in the league averages 104 points per game, and they held OKC to 103. They're the third best offense.
overall, I thought we did a good job on Shea. Like I said, of just making him play in traffic, not allowing him to see seams and get to his spots. When he got beat, I thought the next defender was there to help his teammate. And, that's the best I've seen us defend him, since I've been here, So he's a tough cover, MVP for a reason. And we just want to try to give him different looks, keep him under duress. And I thought we did a good job with that.
Jokic is having a historic season. He's having the best individual season for himself. And I love how we're still just like, yeah, but Shea's the MVP this year. And he's going to be. I think partially because there is voter fatigue with Jokic, but mostly because his team is like 15 games better. But there's context there. You look at the advanced numbers. Look at how bad the Nuggets are with Jokic off the floor. I think he does have an argument, but it's going to be Shea. It's going to be me. Shea. All right, we got James Harden now. Post game in the locker room after the Clippers fell 103-101 to the Oklahoma City Thunder last night.
Yes, sir.
Saying Shea is not the MVP. Hey, Nara, you want to bet? He's going to be the MVP. Regardless of what you think, he's going to be the MVP. Their team is going to win like 67 games.
How you feeling, honestly? How you?
Yeah, he runs the entire offense. It's not just scoring. And he is a good defender. He's not their best defender because they happen to have really good defenders, but Shea is a good defender. He's a better defender than Jokic is. Shea is a better defender in the NBA than Jokic is. Did you not know that? That's not even a question.
Mark.
What happened?
What happened?
Harden said, I'm all right.
Mark.
What happened?
What happened? Yeah.
Did you see the play?
I saw the play.
Okay, so here's Law here. I was with Law, not sitting where he was sitting, but I had kind of a similar vantage point. I didn't see the foot roll over.
I mean, it looked like he hit the shit out of you.
You didn't see my foot?
We saw you.
Honestly,
Great. So that Mexican Nara, when Shea's the MVP, come back here. Come back here because I keep receipts. It's going to be Shea. His team has won like 15 more games than the Nuggets. He's a better defender. He's also their entire offense, just like Jokic is in Denver. Maybe not quite to that degree, but he's a better defender. It's over, my man. Shea's the MVP this season. He's going to be. I was just giving you a heads up. You may be in denial, but it's happening.
no, from what we said, I looked up and you were down.
Hopefully it's a clip. You can watch it, but I rolled my foot. So I got bumped. I got knee in the thigh. And I was hopping and I rolled my foot. And it's in the middle of my foot, yeah.
I think it happened on the second hop.
So it's the ankle roll, not the thigh. That's the big problem for you.
It's most valuable player, not team. It is traditionally the best player on the best team. Turns out he's both. You understand they're a completely different team without SGA. They're not the same team. Thing is, he's hardly missed any games. They've had other guys miss games. He's hardly missed any. He's the MVP. By precedent, with how they vote on this, he's the MVP. He's going to be.
Foot roll.
Excuse me.
Is this something that you've suffered?
Foot roll.
Foot roll.
Excuse me.
Is this something that you've suffered before?
Yep.
Does it go away quickly?
We'll see.
Ty was complimentary you guys' defense all night. Kind of what did you think of you guys' defense on the night?
Yeah, I mean, they had 103 points. So, I think we played pretty solid defense. Couple stints where we turned the basketball over too much, and we had our opportunities to make shots, and we didn't. It's the game right there.
Ty also said that he and the team could have done a better job of kind of saving you from yourself at the end because he said, you didn't have any burst because of what happened Is there a conversation that happens between you and him at that time where you kind of tell him that you're okay?
Nah, I'm playing. I'm not okay. I sit down.
This is why you got to save players from themselves. Like, they're never coming out. Harden's never coming out. But you don't think SGA earned it. His team is going to win 67 games more, or they're going to win 67 games and maybe 15 games more than the Denver Nuggets. He's the main reason for that. You don't think he's earned it? Like, just say you're hating. Like, you could say it's close, but he's going to win, and he is deserving. Like, yeah, they're 10-0 without J-Dub, their other all-star. They didn't have Chet for over half the season. Hartenstein was hurt to start the season. And they've been the best team in the West all year long. That's SGA. It's over. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, Nara, but you're dead wrong. All right, now we're going to hear from Kawhi Leonard postgame.
After the game, Ty was actually pretty complimentary of your guys' defense, especially on Shea. Kind of how do you feel you guys did on that end of the floor?
Oh, we played pretty good. Other than like giving up some wide open threes at times.
I think he's talking about the Alex Caruso one. That was James Harden's man technically on that possession. He came over to help with SGA, and Alex Caruso went to the far side corner. Somebody else had to recover. Norm was close. DJ was close, but yeah, that's Alex Caruso killed him with big plays in the fourth. He had the steal on the inbounds play from James Harden on a bounce pass to Big Zoo, which probably should have been thrown up high or thrown to DJ, who was at the three-point arc. Instead, there's a couple of really bad plays there.
Our second quarter kind of hurt us. A lot of turnovers.
My God, did the second quarter hurt them. I mean, that 15-0 run with SGA off the floor, Kawhi on the floor is inexcusable. If I could go back through the tape, I would go through the second quarter, but I don't want to upset the YouTube people.
Even in the end of the fourth, I think we had 2 or 3 turnovers at the end. But we fought hard. We was in the game the whole game. Just, calls could have gone either way. But, salute to them. They've been the best team all year.
They've been the best team all year. Salute to them. SGA is the MVP. Best record in the league. They've been the best all year long.
Did you adjust to their physicality, and are they the most physical team that you've placed since you came back?
Pretty much everybody tried to be physical with me. I play a physical game, but
listen to this.
I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I want to get better.
I want to get better. I enjoyed it. I want to get better. Look at Kawhi. This is a guy chasing greatness at all times.
Game, but
listen to this.
I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I want to get better. Win, lose, or draw, play great or not. I want to play the best. I want the best to guard me. I want them to play their hardest. So
I want to play the best. I want the best to guard me. I want them to play their hardest. This is what makes Kawhi Kawhi.
I want to play the best. I want the best to guard me. I want them to play their hardest. So it was a good game tonight. They played well. Like I said, they did a great job defensively, and they pulled out the win late.
Somebody's asking a question if Kawhi took a shot within the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. Yes, he took a shot within the first 30 seconds of the second quarter. He missed a 14-footer. Your friends are wrong. This is why you have to go to the tape. You got to go to the numbers because everybody's memory is different. You can't rely on people's memories when it comes to this stuff. It's not good enough. You can objectively say, okay, here are the numbers or here's the play. That's how the game should be analyzed.
Best defense that you've played against since you've come back?
I guess you could give it. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
The numbers say they are the number one defense. But I'm asking,
yes.
When you went against them on the floor.
Kawhi is laughing hard here. Listen to this.
I guess you could give it. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
The numbers say they are the number one defense. But I'm asking,
yes.
when you went against them on the floor, did you feel because it is your first?
Okay, I got a new soundbite here. I'm using this often. Whenever I'm looking up numbers now.
I mean, I guess you could give it. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit. I don't know. What did the numbers say?
The number.
I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
I would be using that a lot. New soundbite for Clippers talk. When we're going through numbers, as we often do on here, I got to pull this clip now of Kawhi going, I don't know. What do the numbers say? I'm saving it right now.
I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
Wait a second. I might have to get a cleaner one. Oh, I think I had it up a little bit too hot. I got to make sure I get it clean here. All right, hold on.
I mean, I guess you could give it. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
The numbers say they are.
I guess you could give it. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
The numbers say they are.
Okay.
All right. Sorry to be doing this in real time, but I need this bite.
The numbers say they are.
So you could give it. I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
I don't know. What do the numbers say? Shit.
I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
God, I love Kawhi. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
Oh, what a bite. What a bite.
I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.
All right, we're back to Kawhi.
But I'm asking, like,
yes.
When you went against them on the floor, did you feel that? Because it is.
When they confirmed, Justin Rousseau here, that the numbers do say that OKC is the best defense by a lot.
Are the number one defense. But I'm asking, like,
yes.
When you went against them on the floor, did you feel that? Because it is your first game against them.
I would say, you know, they didn't have a lot of guys that you can attack, and that's the lineup. You know, so I guess that does trying to make them the best. And, you know, they all of them.
There's nobody you can really pick on. They have too many good players out there. This is what makes OKC OKC. It's not necessarily the offense, which is very good, the third best. It's not necessarily SGA, who is the MVP. He's incredible. But what makes them so tough is their defense, and specifically their perimeter defense.
I guess that does trying to make them the best. And, you know, they all of them have the attitude and want to guard one of the best on the floor. So, like I said, it was enjoyable.
How would you say that your team executed on defending Shea in particular?
Well, I think we did a good job. We showed the crowd. Got a lot of.
They did a great job. I mean, that might be his worst game of the season from SGA. They played his minutes even. He was a 0 in the plus minus. He was 7 of 29, 1 of 7 from 3. Yeah, he got to the free throw line. He's hard to guard. I don't think he's so much a foul baiter as he is just hard to guard.
Well, I think we did a good job. We showed the crowd. Got a lot of points from the free throw line. I mean, he is who he is. You know what I mean? He's going to attack all game. He made some good shots in the fourth quarter. Very patient. And, yeah, I think we did good. Depending on how he shot her, you know what I mean?
We missed 22 out of 29.
Shot attempts. Yeah, I think we did a good job.
Look at Kawhi laughing. Oh, well, yeah, I think we did a good job then. He starts laughing.
Shot attempts. Yeah, I think we did a good job, man.
Okay, this is a great point from Miss Shakes. This was happening here on this show. Miss Shakes points out how 2 weeks ago people were saying make Kawhi come off the bench. He wasn't the first option. The team is better without him. Y'all were some clowns. Some of you, whoever said this stuff. I know it wasn't many. I know the majority of you in here, smart, high-level basketball thinkers. But then you got guys like Free TV and Bastian Schweinsteiger saying that nonsense. How does that look now? How foolish do you look now? Kawhi over his last 6 games, 26 points per game, 8 boards, 4 assists, 2.5 steals, on 58% shooting from the field and 55% shooting from 3. And how many people in here were saying, bring him off the bench. He's washed. He's not the same. He's not good enough. Wild. All right, there was Kawhi post game. Here's Norman Powell post game last night.
Despite the loss after the game, Ty was pretty complimentary of you guys' defense against Shea and OKC in general. Kind of, what did you see out there? How do you think you guys did on that end of the floor?
So we was flying around. Thought we did a great job following the game plan, making it tough. Really locking in on him. Attacking him, not letting him attack us all night. Making all the shots and stuff difficult for him. I thought collectively, whoever stepped on the floor was really locked into what we were trying to do.
And if I can't,
They were so good defensively, the Clippers. You have to win that game. Ugh.
well, where do you think it kind of got away from you guys at the end?
I don't think he got away from him. He was right there. Obviously a few plays here and there, a few calls go our way, a few shots go. Got a good look at it.
Taking accountability there, Norman Powell saying, I got a good look at it. That three-pointer that he missed. Tip out. Kawhi gets it after hot potato between him and James Harden. He forces it along too. Real opportunities there.
Three late in and out. That's the game sometimes. Sometimes you get those calls. Sometimes those shots go in. Sometimes they don't. But I thought we executed. Got the looks that we wanted. Got the stops that we needed to give ourselves a chance to win the game.
I do think this was more about the Thunder winning it than the Clippers being so abysmal and losing it. They had some bad plays, but the Thunder were really good. I went through the entire fourth quarter twice now, and they made some really tough shots. And they made some great defensive plays. Like the way they broke up some of those passes to Ivica Zubats, 2 from James, 1 from Norm. Those are great plays. They are. You have to tip your hat. The Caruso layups, tough.
Defense so tough to play against.
They're physical. They're flying around too, but they're really handsy. They're reaching. They get away with a lot because 1 through 5 play the same way. But they cover for each other. They're always flying around. Nobody's just standing and watching. They're communicating on what's happening, what the play is, being ready for their coverages and things like that. You got 5 guys tied in. You're gonna have a good defensive team.
Are they the best defense you've seen that you guys have played against this season?
They're right up there. Them in Houston, long, athletic guys that are tight end. But they're top defensive team for a reason. Top team for a reason. They are good on both sides of the ball.
How are you feeling yourself, just physically?
Just working my way into it. This is my 3rd game back. So it's like Thursday ready games. Now minute restriction, so just trying to find my flow and rhythm. When I am in the game, make the plays that are in front of me, take the shots that are given to me, but just staying with it. I'm confident in myself.
Listen to this again from Norm.
Guys that are tight end, but they're top defensive team.
How are you feeling yourself, just physically?
Just working my way into it. This is my 3rd game back. So it's like Thursday ready games.
So it's like the 3rd stay ready game. He's not close to being himself yet. He's still getting his timing back.
This is my 3rd game back. So it's like Thursday ready games. Now minute restriction, so just trying to find my flow and rhythm. When I am in the game,
still minutes restriction, trying to find his flow and rhythm.
Games now minute restriction, so just trying to find my flow and rhythm. When I am in the game, make the plays that are in front of me, take the shots that are given to me, but just staying with it. I'm confident in myself and my abilities. Team is as well. It's all going to come together at the right time. We're playing good basketball. Right now, it's all about winning. So that's all I'm focused on.
How much are you following the standings this late in the season? Are you
I'm following them all the time. Yeah, man. Especially with this playing stuff. So you're trying to stay out of that. I already played a play-in. I ain't trying to do that again.
Norm admitting that they follow the standings.
So you're watching closely on positioning. You want the teams to lose. Want to keep our way we're playing going. Bounce back on this road trip. But yeah, definitely. Everybody's trying to avoid that playing right now.
Are you a fan of the playing at all?
Listen to this answer. Are you a fan of the play-in at all from Justin Russo?
No, I'm not. You play 82 games. The season's the season. I know it's a money play, and it was good for us when COVID was going on and doing that in the bubble and everything, but you play 82 games for a reason.
This is fair. This analysis is fair from Norman Powell, saying he's not a fan of the play-in. You play 82 games. If you're not 7th or 8th and you're below that at that point, hey, you're out. You played 82 games. Like, when it comes to fairness, it's probably not as fair to give opportunities to teams who finish below 8. It makes it more exciting. It gives more teams a shot to get in. But to Norm's point, you play 82 games.
Going on and doing that in the bubble and everything, but you play 82 games for a reason. Top 8 teams are top 8 teams. You're giving teams that wouldn't potentially make the playoffs in previous years, a chance, in one game, anything can happen, so it's kind of unfair for the teams that work hard and put themselves in playoff spots and in the race to, jeopardize that off of one game. But it's working for the league. It's intense. Viewership's up, make more money as a league. So I understand it, but play 82 games for a reason.
Norm's not wrong. Now, it does give the Clippers, if they finish 8th, a chance to end up the 7th seed because they'll play 7 in a play-in. But, yeah, you play 82 games. As he mentioned, though, as a money play, it makes things more exciting. It keeps more teams away from tanking because more teams are in the hunt for the playoffs because of the play-in. But he's not wrong. Love Norman Powell. All right, Clipper Nation. Appreciate you all. I think we got a Clips and Dip episode coming up later tonight. Thanks again to Law Murray for coming in and braving the connection issues with him, working through it as he's going through the subways in New York and still giving us great analysis. Make sure you follow Law. Make sure you subscribe to The Athletic to read Law Murray. Got to be doing that. I'm Adam Osland. Appreciate you all. Subscribe, like, please. It really helps the channel, especially since earlier I had one of my videos taken down from doing a breakdown of the fourth quarter last night. So I'm going to need extra likes and subscribe. You guys subscribing to this channel. All right. Be good. We're back tomorrow for another episode. We'll have Lucas Hahn on. Don't call him Han. Around noon tomorrow. I'm Adam Osland. We'll talk to you then. Wait.
I don't know. What did the numbers say? Shit.